Hey, welcome back to Stuart I. Today I am painting the inside of the Academy 135th M3A1 Stuart. Jumping right in here. From what I found online, it seems like the inside of the Stuart, and I imagine many other tanks, was just kind of a slightly off-white. So I started by painting the inside a slightly off-white. I got almost an entire coat before I ran out of the paint that I mixed, so I mixed what I think ended up being slightly lighter and finished up with that and had enough to do another coat where it needed. The texture of the floor was actually pretty useful because the paint stuck to that a lot better than the flat surfaces. So while the flat surfaces looked all smeared and gross, the floor actually covered nicely in one layer. There were some tricky spots to get to, like under the seats and in the sort of grilly grate parts of this engine part. Also around some of the smaller details where it was harder to get to. It was hard to paint. I don't know exactly why they painted the insides of tanks white, but I assume it's to deal with like not being able to see inside if it's dark in there. The white probably made it a bit easier for light to bounce around and to see edges of things so you don't hit your head on them. But that's just my guess. There's a surprising amount of surfaces on the inside of this small tank. So I had to get all of the walls, the floor, the engine parts, the outside of the radio, back wall. That's kind of it. The levers, the little driving levers. Those are white with little black knobs. And I found that, especially next to the seats, my brush was a little too wide. The little grippy part is a little too wide to fit down in there, so I had to go in at weird angles to get some of the floor. That was when I ran out of paint and had to mix a new batch. So now you get to see me do more of the same. If you happen to like watching someone paint the inside of a tank slightly off-white for 3 minutes and 45 seconds, be sure to smash that like button. But really, if you enjoy what I do, and I hope you do, because I enjoy it, and I want other people to also, feel free to subscribe. Really helps me out. Really boosts my confidence in doing this. If you have any tips and tricks, suggestions, requests, complaints, life advice, just drop that down in the comments section. If you know why tanks are white on the inside for actual reasons, then let us all know. Throw it down there. And if you like seeing all the little things I build, check out my Instagram. It's SpruTube Models. I post pictures of most of my completed things, and stuff that I'm working on outside of these videos, and little hints at what I'm making next, all kinds of things. And if you really love what I do and want to be my best friend for all of eternity, check out my Patreon, where you can help me to keep doing what I want to do. That'd be real neat. On the second coat. Don't know what else to say. We're putting more white on. Making it smooth. Making it frosty. Nice and clean. Before we make it not clean again. If you haven't already left out of boredom, comment applesauce down below. I don't know why, just do it. Honestly, comment anything. As long as it's not mean. I'm very fragile. Just like the M3A1 Stuart. Oh, such a small boy. Hey, the white's done. Oh, just kidding. It's done on that part. More white. After that long and grueling process, I didn't really feel like painting this entire part inside and out, so I just did the outside of this little drop-down canister part. It's the only part that's going to be visible from outside anyway. Right now I'm not sure if I want to leave the top separate from the bottom so that you can actually see the inside that I took so long to paint. But right now I'm just thinking of having the driver's hatch open as it is, as you see here. So really you only see like the driver's seat and the hatch itself and part of the little turret basket. But I mean, it still looks nice with it being not just the color of the plastic, so there's that. Let me know what you think. I value your opinion. Alright, so the next step after all of that painting is to do a little gray dry brushing to have the paint look worn down. I just mixed a pretty light gray, a medium-ish gray actually, and I just put a little bit of paint on the paintbrush and then got most of it off on a paper towel and then broke the seat and then painted along all the like perpendicular to all the edges so that all the raised pieces got the excess paint just a little bit so it looks all scratched up. I thought it looked really nice on the turret basket actually. There's some good spots on there. And then I painted the radio face black. Later on I dry brushed some of the gray over it too to pop out all the detail, but I don't think I recorded that. I think after the last step my camera was dying, so I did a lot of work off screen. Oh, I also painted the little driving knobs. So you can see I did some work off screen. I dry brushed the radio, I painted the little fire extinguisher and those weird canister looking things around the back curved part. I painted those olive drab, because what's more American than olive drab? And also those little ammo containers for the machine gun. Then the last thing to paint is the seats. I went with a leathery brown because it's the height of comfort inside a tank. There's some nice leather seats. This is the Ferrari of tanks. Not really. I don't know what to compare it to. Oldsmobile, maybe. An obsolete and garbage thing. And just like that, it's done! For my first interior, I feel like this is pretty good. I like the dry brushing on it, especially on the turret part. It looks pretty good on the bottom half of the driver's hatch too, right there. But I especially like it on some spots of the turret basket thing, whatever it's called. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, check out my Patreon and Instagram. I've said all these things before. And have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, night, early morning, late afternoon, pre-evening, brunch, dinner, what have you. And here's a dude. Bye.